Hi, my name is Lina Bodestad. I am a licensed psychologist here in Sweden, and for the last few years I've been working as a consultant with a niche in gender equality, inclusion and diversity. So I've been doing trainings and lectures and workshops for different organizations, and I've also written 2 books on the subject here in Sweden. And me and Johanna were very happy when we heard from you, and we're very much looking forward to talking with you guys about this very important issue.
Yes, and my name is Johanna, and I'm the president of a women organization for women that do business in Sweden, and I own my own company in tech, so that's my specialties.
Okay, so the first question was about the leadership gap in Sweden, how hard or easy it is for a woman to gain a management position. And what we can see here in Sweden is that during the 1900s we had a lot of legislation that was for the workplace, but also was about childcare and women's rights and discrimination that have made it easier for women to join the workforce. And from the 70s up until today, more and more women have joined the workforce. So today we see in Sweden that in general in the whole workforce there is about 50% women, or slightly less than 50%, but there is still only about 40% female managers, and this also looks quite different between different sectors. So in the private business sector there are much fewer women and also much fewer female managers, but there are more women and more female managers in the public healthcare and education sectors, which is in large part because there are also a lot more women working there. So women are being recruited from the sort of base of people working in those sectors. And so we are seeing that more and more women are becoming managers, and it also looks, in the private sector, it also looks quite different between different branches in the private sector. So we can see, for example, in retail and in service, there is about 50% women and also almost 50% female managers, whereas in construction and one more that I just forgot, transport, there is much fewer women, but there are in those 2 sectors actually more female managers than there are women percentage in those industries. So it looks quite different, and we also have, we will provide you with the material. We will have some of these numbers, so you don't need to remember all of them. But long story short, it differs between sectors, private or public, and it also differs between different areas of business. And what we can see as what has made this possible is a combination, of course, of legislation and norms and expectations that have been shifting, and what still remains that hinders women to become managers are, traditional gender roles from society, norms, expectations. Women still do more unpaid housework than men. Women still take more care of children and family than men, for example. And there's also expectations that women are not as suitable or as competent as we see in almost any other country as well. There are still being a hindrance to women is, for example, that a lot of areas of business, they think that they are doing better than they are. They think that they are recruiting based on merit and not on gender, but we still see in many sectors, in most sectors, that there isn't any gender equality. Even though it could be, because there are a lot of highly educated women to choose from, but there is a self-image that there is no discrimination, and then of course it's hard to work on something that you don't see as a problem. So this is something that keeps coming back, that for Sweden and other countries as well, of course, to achieve more women in leadership and women to advance, companies need to take this more seriously, and they need to start at the top levels of the companies and organizations. So top-level managers need to acknowledge that there is a gender gap and that this is important and that this is something you need to work on systematically. So there is still some way to go on this.